Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randy4short or Randy for short, and in today's video we are going to be closing out my July budget and we are going to be stuffing some sinking funds. So I'm going to do this budget closeout a little bit different just because I have quite a few things to do for my budget closeout. So I'll just mostly walk you guys through what I did to close out my budget. I'm looking for a sticky note that has like my checklist for my budget closeout. So let's go through the checklist to make sure that I have everything. So the first thing that I like to do, or one of the things that I like to do, is update my utilities tracker. And for the month of July, our water came out to be $120.09. Our natural gas bill came out to be $15.64. And then our electric bill came out to $15.92, but we still had a $31.59 credit on our account, so we basically didn't have a electric bill, and we have from that credit we have another $15.67 credit left on our account. So hopefully our bill comes right about that or under that for August, so we don't have another electric bill, but so far so good. And if you're interested in this utilities tracker and just these worksheets in general, I do make them myself. They are available in my Etsy shop. The link is always down in the description. Okay, so now that we have updated my utilities tracker, I'm going to cross that off my list. So the next thing I want to do is update my my car loan. Where am I going? Yeah. I want to update my car loan. So this is where I have it for now. And I'm just keeping track of our balance for our car loan. And right now, as of the July billing statement, our car loan balance was $16,996.58. We did pay our payment of $256.29, which leaves us with a balance of $16,740.29. But this does not include the interest that is applied. So this ending balance will be slightly higher when we go into the month of August, which I'm fully expecting. We have a pretty low interest rate. I forget what it is, but I think it adds less than like $100 to our balance every month. So yeah, I can't wait to get back to paying off debt and get this car loan just out of the way, because I like that that no car loan life. So whenever we can, I will be starting that back up. But let's see. So we updated the car loan payoff tracker, and let me go over the month end review. So basically how we did for the month of July compared to the month of June. And I used these sheets right here. So these are the categories that we spent money, that we may have spent money on, but these are the expense categories that I'm tracking throughout the year. As we spend money, there may be categories added on, but for the month of July, we didn't spend any money in any like new category. So this is it. So the categories that we have is income, monthly expenses, gas, food, diapers and wipes, clothing, house supplies, debt, childcare, medical, toiletries, which is the difference between toiletries and house supplies is toiletries is anything that we use for like personal hygiene, like deodorant, toothpaste, things like that. And then house supplies is things like paper towels and toilet tissue and all that kind of stuff, like supplies for the house. And then car repair, maintenance, gifts, and this gifts is for other people, friends and family. And then business, annual, beauty, Beauty right now, it's not really getting anything, but mostly beauty is for me, because my husband cuts his own hair and we don't get haircuts for our toddler son just yet. Home repair, maintenance, fun / holidays, and this is basically for us to have fun money if we want to do a movie night or if we want to celebrate a particular holiday or something like that. And then landscaping, and then twins, because we are expecting twins. So I just want to keep track of how much we're spending to get ready for their arrival. So I'm just going to give you guys the highlights over here. As you can see, there's a lot of red. So I went through and wrote down like a summary of what happened for the month. I'm not going to go into detail like I did last time. I'm just going to give you guys the highlights. So for the month of July, we made 1% less than June. So for July, we made $5,228.19, which was roughly about $55 in last month, which is okay. And then for our monthly expenses, we spent $2,871.02, which was 5% more, or $142 roughly more than last month, which for monthly expenses, 142 more. Oh, I guess I should say for the month of July, one of the major things of why we were over budget is because I forgot to budget for the last 2 weeks of July in this paycheck. So as you can see my calendar, like I budgeted for the most part for the bills that was going to come out for the rest of July, but I did forget 2 bills, but that's because I had them in my budget, but I didn't realize that I needed to pay them twice because the June bill fell in the first half of like my first paycheck of July, and then I needed to also pay the July bill in the second paycheck of July. And I didn't catch that because my calendar only went up to July 15th. And then I didn't catch that I needed money for cash envelopes and like our variable spending from July 16th through July 31st. So that's why a lot of these bills are going to be high, because July was not just a regular month. We were spending money and budgeting for a month and a half, because this budget went from June 18th all the way through June 31st. So that was an important note and a big mishap for this monthly review, which I did note over here. And that was one of my improvements, that if I ever have to do a calendar where I'm accounting for things that go past the 15th or past the month that I'm budgeting for, like it goes, like this calendar goes all the way to the 31st, but I stopped it on July 15th. I need to insert another page so that I have 2 monthly calendars so I can see everything on a monthly calendar, because I'm a visual person and I need that. And that way I would have caught the 2 bills that I missed that I needed to double pay for July. So that was one of the major takeaways for this expense, for this month in review. And then let's see. So like I said, we were over budget because I didn't budget for our variable spending for the last half of July. So we were $110 over, or 50% over what we spent in June for gas. And then we were roughly almost like $1,000 over in food compared to July, which I mean is to be expected. But I also thought that we were going to have more money, because I thought the money that we rolled over from June was going to be free. So we was like balling out at Costco, and yeah, no, you already walking out of Costco with like no less than $200, $250 in your cart, and then you go in there thinking you have extra money. Yeah, we did some damage in July. So I'm not surprised there, but for the most part, everything was on par with June, except childcare. Of course, we had to pay for another 2 weeks of that, so we were over budget there. Medical, I have that we were over budget, but that was another key takeaway for this, is that I noticed that my month end process of like reviewing categories is slightly inconsistent, because sometimes I'll count expenses that were paid out of my sinking funds versus the money that actually came in for the month. And then sometimes I won't. Like last month we had medical expenses, but I didn't, well, not last month. In June, we had medical expenses that we paid out of our medical account, but I didn't count those in June because it didn't come from the money that we earned in June. But for July, I did count the medical expense that we paid out of our medical fund, and not money that came out of this, the money that we earned for July. So I kind of need to like review my process of how I want to account for things. Do I only want to account for things that come out of money that was earned that month, or do I want to categorize every single thing that we spent money on? But to do that, I definitely have to have that digitally, because I'm not about to do that manually, because that's going to require me to track every single expense, and I'm not about that life. So we do use Qube Money basically for all of our expenses, like in one way or another. But for right now, Qube Money doesn't have like reporting that I could like download and manipulate to how I want to see the numbers. So for right now, it's probably going to stay inconsistent until that feature comes available in Qube, which it should be soon. So yeah. And then let's see. The only thing that was green is gifts, and that's because we didn't spend any money on gifts. So I wouldn't necessarily say that's a win, because we do like to give gifts. Just, right now money is tight. So yeah, so that's neither a win or a loss. It just is what it is. And then annual expenses was over budget because we did have annual expenses in July, but we did it in June. So that's kind of, on the border. Home repair and maintenance, we did need to buy some things for the house in July, where we did it in June. So that's here nor there. And then fun/holidays. I was thinking about categorizing some of these in like a entertainment, because fun/holidays is mostly for like if we're celebrating our birthdays or some kind of holiday with the family or something like that. But what's making up this category is the PS5 that my husband bought, and then the candles that I bought from Bath and Body Works. So the Bath and Body Works, I feel like, could stay in fun and holidays, because that does encompass like our birthdays, and it was a birthday gift to myself. But the PS5 is more like entertainment. So but I'm gonna just lump it in with fun/holidays for now, because there's not like a huge difference between the entertainment and the fun/holidays for us. So yeah, because we're gonna have game nights as well with the PS5. So that kind of falls into the category of fun. But yeah, so that's like the highlights. I'll say like the wins that I counted for myself is that even though we were over budget, all of our bills were paid, and we didn't have to dip into our savings in order to rectify the mistake of me not budgeting for the last half of July, because I was able to catch it early. So that's why a budget is important. And then another win is that I was able to tell you guys that if you are rolling over money so that you can get 1 month ahead, I was able to share my mistake with you guys. So hopefully you guys learn from me and not make this mistake like I did. But basically, say like you got paid in the month of July, and the last paycheck on July 30th, you want to start getting ahead on bills, so that in December, once you get another 3 paycheck month and your third paycheck comes on December 31st, and you'll start to be 1 month ahead. Well, if you look, if you look at the calendar, you are going to need that money to pay for bills that's going to fall from December 17th through December 30th. So you're going to need that money to pay for your bills in that time period. So basically the 2 weeks before you're about to be 1 month ahead, you're going to need that money that you've been rolling over in order to pay for those bills. And then the next 2 paychecks, you'll be fully 1 month ahead. So I hope that made sense. So yeah, so learn from me, and yeah, make sure that you are making a mental note that you're going to need that money later, when right before you are about to be 1 month ahead. So I think that was the main takeaways for this month as far as the budget. But just to give you guys totals, our total expenses for July was $7,320.15, which was almost $2,100 more than June, which was 40% more than the expense, or the amount of money that we paid in expenses for the month of June. So that is a big whopping number, but I mean, it is what it is, and we made it through it. So now on to the fun part. I think, let me make sure. Oh, just one other thing, that right after I do my month-end review, I like to go in and update my standard of living tracker, just to make sure that we are on track to living the life that we wanted to live when we first sat down to think about it and set goals and stuff at the top of the quarter. So let me get to the standard of living tracker. So the standard of living tracker, like I said, is just to make sure that we're on track to living the life that we want to live. So all I did was copy the July numbers from this column to right here in this column. That's all I did for this page, because this side was set up previously at the beginning of the quarter. So I'll link the video to this setup if you want to see it. But again, it is literally just rewriting everything in this column. So the only thing that I like to do is compare July versus how we wanted to spend our money when we sat down to see what we wanted to do, or like what the game plan was at the beginning of the quarter. So how we did in July versus how we wanted to do is that we spent about $2,000 more than we said that we would spend every month on expenses, which was about 38% more than what we said we were going to spend. So 38% more means that we were living 38% above what we said we wanted to do in the beginning of the quarter. So I'm not above going like our expenses being more than what we wanted to do, but 38% is pretty high. I think I want to stay around like 10% or lower, but 38 is pretty high. But I'm going to give us grace in the month of July, just because of that huge mistake that I made, that I didn't budget for the last half of July. And plus, for July, it was expenses for a month and a half versus a month. So and if you're new to this standard of living tracker that I created, this is basically just saying that we had a lifestyle creep. Since our income went up, our expenses went up by 38%. So 38% more than what we actually needed. So, but like I said, I'm going to give us grace in this instance, because of like the money was spent on necessities. So. But all right, so we're going to go ahead and cross off that I updated my standard of living tracker. So now we can get to allocating my sinking funds. So at the end of every month, I like to see what exactly we have left over in like what we were able to save as far as like either paying ourselves first or whatever money was left over in our budget that we were able to put into our savings. So I do that by basically adding up the savings total on each paycheck. So let's do that. So 109.67 from paycheck number 1, and then we were short 70 cents in paycheck number 2. So technically we were able to put away $108.97 in the month of July, but we did have some refund checks, so we were able to put away a little bit more. So I did write it down. We were able to put away $137.01 into our savings, but before I could close out this budget, or before recording this budget, we are already in August. So I did need to use, well, my husband wanted to buy something for the kitchen, so, and he's the one cooking right now, so I'm like, whatever makes your life easier so that you can feed us, you go ahead and order. So he placed an order for something, some kitchen utensil or like thing for the kitchen. So that was $40. So what we actually put in our savings account or have left from that 137 is $96.78, which I need to allocate. So that's not the only thing though. That's just the money that was left over from July that we need to allocate amongst our sinking funds. But in the month of July, I actually sold my Prius, my old car. If you've been around for a while, then you know that I was having problems with my Prius, and I went and I got a new car, which is why we have a car loan now. My Prius was paid off. So I didn't trade it in for my new car just because the engine trouble was severe and it was going to need like a new engine rebuild and all that. And the dealer was basically trying to give us a pack of bubble gum for my car. And I was like, no, I know I can at least get 500 to 1,000 if I trade this, like give it to a salvage yard. So that's what I did. I went on pedal.com and they basically asked me some basic questions of like, do I own the car? Do I have the title? Are there any like large dents or anything like larger than a golf ball size damage on the car? Like, are all of the parts, and like, is it missing any parts inside the vehicle? Is it operational? Like, does it turn on and drive? Like, just basic questions about the car. And once I answered that, it was like 10 questions or less. They offered me an amount to basically buy my car from me. So they offered $2,520, and I took it because I was like, basically, I didn't want to resell it on like the market to like another regular person, because a mechanic is going to need to fix this car because it had severe engine and like eventually brake problems that was also linked to the engine. So I wouldn't have felt right just reselling it, like, even though I could have put in the notes that it had engine problems. But yeah, I'm pregnant with twins. I don't feel like dealing with all that, so I just sold it to the salvage yard. So I think my father-in-law was disappointed because he was like, you could have got so much more money. But I'm just the type of person, like, once I'm done with something, I'm done with something. And I don't really want to be bothered, especially with like reselling stuff. So that's how much we got for selling my car to a salvage yard. And then we did get our child tax credit for the month of July. So that was $300 for our one toddler son. So the selling of my car, the child tax credit, and the money that was left over in July comes out to be $2,916.78. And how I'm going to allocate it is, again, we are getting ready for the twins, so we're trying to dump as much money into a savings account so we can start buying like all of the essentials for them, like car seats and bassinets and all that kind of good stuff, diapers and wipes. So we're gonna dump the money that we got from selling my car in the sinking fund for the twins, and then the $300 child tax credit. We're mostly going to use that to cover if we're short in daycare, but I didn't want to lump that in with the daycare sinking fund because I wanted to make sure that if we needed the money for anything else for our son, like clothes, or if we just wanted to buy him something or treat him to something, because his birthday is in December, so we got to think about his birthday and Christmas. So if we come short on saving for Christmas and stuff, we can use that money for Christmas. But for right now, I'm just going to put it in its own little cube so that the money is like separated and we can use it for whatever we may need for our son. And so I'm gonna put that in the child tax credit sinking fund, and then the money that was left over for July, we're gonna also dump that into the twins sinking fund. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull up Qube Money on my phone. So I am gonna sit back out of the screen so that you guys aren't like seeing my phone and seeing it on the screen and in the video. So I'm just gonna sit back and put up what I'm doing on my phone on the screen. So as you guys can see right here, this is the sinking funds account, and as you can see, the balance is the 2009-1678 that I said. So what we need to go ahead and do is, I could do this a number of ways. I could like just transfer the money one by one to the different cubes, or I could transfer this money to the cloud account and then allocate it using the planning page. But since it's only 2 accounts, I am going to just transfer it one by one. So let's go ahead and do the child tax credit first. So child tax credit, next step, we're going to put 300 in there. And then there's that. So now child tax credit has $300. So go back into the sinking funds and we're going to put the balance into the twins account. So find the twins. Go ahead and do that. And we're going to do the balance of 2616.78. And we're going to put that in the twins. So now the sinking funds is 0, and you can see that the twins now has $2,629.78, which I thank God for, because these twins are coming up quickly, and we have their baby shower in September, and so we need to start buying stuff for them as well, and like setting up the bassinet and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm kind of like at a crossroads of whether I want to wait and see what we got in the baby shower versus just like starting to buy the big stuff ourselves, because this is our second pregnancy, but it is the first time, of course, that we're having twins, so it's a little bit novel still. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Me, I'm the type of person where I'm like very impatient, and if I have the means to do it, then I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself. I don't really like waiting on people. Major flaw, but it is what it is. And so yeah, you guys can see that the twins account was updated and the child tax credit was updated. So we're gonna cross that off the list. So yeah, we did everything that we needed to do in order to close out our July budget. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more of my videos, then go ahead and subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.